girl caught her boyfriend and his sister having sex, and because she caught them, they decided to end her life.
AI executives are saying, I'm not gonna have kids until the new Neuralink is built.
I want to wait to have kids until we figure out how Neuralink, so other ways for brains to interlink with a computer, until they start working.
U.S. military? Is this Pakistani military? What is this? Is it extraterrestrial?
Right there.
Yeah, and then some of the comments are saying like where, but then you got this one comment right here.
Yes, what the f. Okay, that's weird,
That's
bro.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. This is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching your TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was Smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But shout out to Susan Burns. I had to give you a shout out. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go. That looked like a demon or something. I couldn't see him, bro. Damn, terrible cameraman.
Wisdom for the open-hearted, wisdom for the people of God. Don't fall into Satan's traps. Wake up.
All 4 of these motherfuckers, I want y'all to remember these faces, because these was the motherfuckers that had a bunker in Alabama filled with kids. At least 6 kids aging from 3 to 10 years old was taken to this bunker, and investigators say that there are multiple suspects accused of
What's y'all thoughts, man? Prayers.
It's something called the 369 method. And basically all it is like the ultimate manifestation. You write down what you want to become like you already became it. So you write it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night. And you read it before you go to bed. So you read it 9 times before you go to bed. So basically it's just like, I would write down, I'm gonna be the first millionaire in my family, not the last. And I write it down every single day. Money come easily, frequently, and abundantly every single day. I write it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night, and I read it before I go to sleep. So when you go to sleep, You go to the fourth dimension, which is the dream state. That's the highest consciousness that you have. So now when you wake up, that was the last thing that you read. So now what happens is you come back to the physical state, 3 dimension where we at right now, and you just basically like massive manifest the shit that you want. Do that shit for 30 days.
Say it as if you already accomplished it, bro. I smile every time I see that clip, because I appreciate that video right there, bro. I seen him talk about how he drove past the house, his dream house, so many times before he actually bought it, but he manifested. All I can say is that method right there changed my life, bro. I started that method before I started this channel, bro. And all I'm gonna say is miracles happen right after that, and prayer, bro. That 369 method, prayer, and God. That's the best advice I could give to anybody. I prayed, bro. I prayed. My sister still got me a painting that's right here in front of me, and it say, "I still remember the days I prayed for what I have now." I read that every single day, and I thank God every single day. But that 369 method is golden, bro. Try it. Write your goals as if you already have accomplished them. That simple. 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. I don't read it no more. I say it naturally.
They went to interview a tribe not knowing it would be the biggest mistake of their lives. The moment they arrived, one of the tribesmen placed a necklace made of human teeth and bones around the reporter's neck. The crew tried to stay calm, and the reporter quietly took it off, then continued asking questions like everything was normal. But the atmosphere quickly changed. The tribesmen began getting visibly irritated by the...
And you know what happened next. They ate their asses.
The moon. All right, the moon is something that has been freaking me out here lately. So there's a thing called a wet moon, and that is when the moon basically turns up like a U, like this. And they call it a wet moon. It goes back to, you know, the native times and stuff, because it's shaped like a bowl and it could hold water. That is supposed to be kind of a rare event. Like, you usually only see a wet moon a few times a year, and it's usually in the winter and the spring, because the way the earth tilts, it kind of changes our perspective of how we view the moon. But that has been happening again. This is one of those things where it's like almost every other week, and I've been pointing this out to people. Look at the moon. Is that normal? Do you remember seeing it that way? And people are like, I've never seen it like that. And people usually don't realize it until they look up and they actually view the moon, because most of us don't look up anymore. We always have our head down for numerous reasons. But when they look up and they start to notice, they notice it often. And I'm here to tell you that I've been noticing this for at least 5 years, maybe actually more than that. I've been taking pictures of it. I've seen it as far down as Florida. I've got pictures of it in Georgia. I see it here in Kentucky all the time, literally every month. And sometimes it's numerous nights in a row. And it's not like it starts out as a wet moon and it eventually tilts because our perspective changes. It's a wet moon all day and night. When it comes up and it goes back down, it is a wet moon. So what is happening? What is leading to that? And why is it so common now? And I highly encourage you, if you're not paying attention to the sky, please stop and take some time to look up, because there's a lot of stuff going on in our skies that we are just oblivious to because we never look up. We never view the sky. We always have our head down. And another thing that you're going to see when you look up is the fact that clouds have changed. Back when I was growing up, clouds were fluffy. I remember laying in the backyard and we would stare up at the clouds and we would think about what they look like. Oh, look, that one looks like a bunny rabbit. Or that one looks like a lion lying down. Or, you know, fill in the blank. It looks like something. But today, when you look up, it's nothing but lines in the sky. And those lines, here at my house anyway, they start at about 9 a.m. Sometimes they run all night, but usually they start at about 9 a.m. It'll be a bluebird sky, just like it is right now. This is a very rare occasion, by the way, because this is usually not the case. This is how it starts out at about 7 a.m. But by 9, there are lines in the sky. And by 2 or 3, it's basically smog. There's this thick cloud that just spreads across the sky, and it blocks out the sun. I've also been documenting this for several years now, and I have seen and actually caught on video not just air freighters, like not just the big planes with jet engines doing this. I caught 2 military prop planes flying over my house side by side, leaving these lines in the sky at a fairly low altitude. And in addition to the clouds and the moon and the sun and the northern lights, something else that seemed to have started this year is that we have had wind every single day this year. There has literally not been a single day in 2026 where it has not been windy. Today is a prime example of that. The wind is gusting. It's just the way things are now. And personally, I'm not a huge fan of the wind because it's kind of annoying when you're outside trying to do something and it's gusting you all around. It just annoys the crap out of me. But for some reason, it's windy every single day. And there is no exception to that. Something else that recently happened is an article popped up in my feed the other day talking about how Tornado Alley has now moved from Kansas and out west all the way over to the state of Kentucky, where I'm at, and Tennessee, and this area. And it kind of makes sense because we've already had a couple tornadoes this year.
They're saying that everyone born between 1980 and 1993 has the same exact mole on their left arm. Now, I thought this was a bunch of bullshit, y'all, until every single person that I've asked so far actually has had one. Check your arm and tell me if this is real or not. This might be a coincidence, a bunch of bullshit, or I might be losing my mind, but I actually have 2 of them. 1, 2. Check your arm.
I tatted over my left one, but I got one on my right too.
I see a lot of people posting and speaking about how lately they've been hearing birds chirping at night. Like, when did that start happening, right? And I've been observing something. So I've been sitting out the past couple of nights, and sometimes it's past midnight. I also sit outside in the day. And what I've realized over the past couple of days, because I've been paying more attention, is that the birds in the daytime sing differently than the birds at night. I know it sounds crazy, but when I hear the birds chirping and singing when I'm sitting out in the daytime, I feel it energetically. Their frequency is different than the birds that are chirping at night. So I don't believe that these birds that are out at night are actual birds. They are watching. They're watching.
Don't even believe it, they're just birds though, bro. They could be speakers they put up in the neighborhood and just playing that shit. Cause y'all remember we seen that too. Dude was looking for bird sounds. He went behind some rocks or something, pulled the speaker out, and it was a bird sounds. Do y'all remember that clip? I remember that clip did get muted and I had to like bring it back. I do remember that though. Let me know your thoughts, bro. They could be watching. Who's to say it's even birds anyway? They don't even need birds to watch you. Trust me, they can do that shit through your TV or your computer or your cell phone. So that's the only reason why I bring that idea up. Y'all let me know your thoughts, man.
What's that? Oh, human are now upping their game when it comes to taking people, and they're going as far as dressing up as Walmart employees to trick you. What? Tell me more! Yeah, this is getting absolutely wild because what's happening right now is people are reporting that what they're doing is when they're in Walmart, an employee of Walmart comes up to them, which isn't really an employee, but rather dressed like one, but they don't know that right away. And what they'll tell them is, hey, is your car this vehicle with this license plate? Obviously, they watched them come in and got this information, but now they're coming up to them to ask them about it so they can then lure them outside. They're essentially telling them that their vehicle is being towed because they're trying to create new spaces for VIP Walmart guests. So essentially, once you get outside, things can get a little bit dicey and they can take off with you. If they're unsuccessful on this attempt, what they are doing is they're already placing an air tag under your hood or somewhere else and then following up later on. Okay.
Bring that smoke if you want to. We about to find out who the best of the best is, and I'm making it home. Let's see if your ass do. This all for entertainment. What I'm saying ain't true, but I'm just saying people playing too much. Keep around with the wrong people and you ain't gonna make it home. I'm just saying, bro, like, you can't play with people trying to stop people from getting home. I think we all getting tired of this human tea. I can't say the word, but I think we all getting tired of that shit, bro. Because it's like, go do something else. Why you want to mess with other people? You can't even see what a person going through, so why would you mess with another person? You don't know how far this person willing to go, so why would you mess with a random person? So anybody who plan to take people, remember that shit, bro. You don't know, you don't never know who you messing with. You with a person that you don't know what they've been through or what they got on them. You know what I mean? You don't know who they related to. Whole lot of elements you gotta balance out there.
Did you have flesh-eating screwworms on your 2026 bingo card? And why do I ask that? Because right now, this is happening in Texas. You got flesh-eating screwworms that feed off of warm-blooded animals. And it just seems the way there's been such little reporting other than what you're seeing from local Texas news organizations, the rest of the country just doesn't care, but Texas is sounding the alarm. And to put a little more context onto what these guys actually do, they eat living flesh. Keep that in the back of your mind. They don't go looking for like animals that are deceased on the side of the road. They will eat living flesh. And if you recall, the United States got rid of these back in the 1960s. So the question needs to be asked, why are they back? And we didn't think about these bugs for over 60 years, but now we need to start thinking about them. So what is now officially the worst case scenario? They claim that they did not start in Texas, so then we need to figure out how they got there. And what happens now if they start moving through livestock and moving all through the United States? So keep a close eye on this, even though you can say, well, it's in Texas, it's not where I am. But if it starts going through livestock and animals get affected, the price of everything starts to go this way. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
They playing with mosquitoes and ticks. Why wouldn't they start playing with that? Put it on humans. This finna tell me what I'm saying ain't true? They ain't even did it yet. At least that I know of. What's y'all thoughts?
This girl caught her boyfriend and his sister having sex, and because she caught them, they decided to end her life.
Wait. The girl's sister was having sex with her boyfriend, or the boyfriend and his sister were having sex?
The boyfriend and his own blood sister.
Oh my God.
Were having sexual
relations.
One day, Kayla decided to go to his house unannounced. She pulls up to the crib, and when she gets there, this is where she sees this strange thing of her boyfriend doing sexual acts with his 20-year-old sister.
Dude.
She starts yelling at them, going crazy, and then she storms out of the house and tries to leave. They planned this thing because Kayla, when she was yelling at them, she was pretty much telling them, like, I'm gonna tell people about this because this is disgusting and this is crazy. And somehow, this dude convinces Kayla to give him a ride somewhere.
What the hell?
And right before she gave him a ride, he did something to mess up her car while they were driving. His sister shows up with like 3 to 4 other guys.
Whoa.
They throw her in a trunk. They take her to the woods, and that's where they got rid of her like body pretty much out there. They eventually end up finding all of these people, and they bring them in. And the 20-year-old sister, I'm pretty sure her name was Alana Mason. When they're interrogating her, she pretty much gets the rest of them caught up because she was in this room and she kept scratching her arm. They were just like, bro, that looks pretty bad. Like, what is that? She was like, oh, it's like poison ivy.
Ooh.
And that was one of the biggest parts of the case, is that her body was found in a very dense wooded area.
Where poison ivy
would be at. And her poison ivy was nasty.
Oh,
she was scratching it the whole time, and it kept getting worse as she was going through the interrogation. These people all got arrested, and literally right now, they're still going to see how long all of them are going to be sentenced. All because they did not want their secret of them having incest relations to get out.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kayla.
Shit crazy, bro.
Eu não posso sair pra fora da minha casa lá na frente, eu não posso nem ver os bichinhos. Não posso fazer nada, tem um monte de gente aqui. Parece uns zumbis, querem... Ai, gente, os carros pretos, tudo escuro. Gente, eu tô com muito medo, sério, eu nunca tive tanto medo na minha vida, nem o dia do Alien. Eu tô sozinho, gente, sozinho.
Fresh bag of chips, unopened. Let's get it. I love Johns Hopkins University. In fact, I got my doctorates from that university. What the? Oh my gosh! What is going on? I know I ain't that weak. Good grief. No, not again. No, no, no. How did Tony Fauci know in the year 2000 CIA Aaron, you getting on my last nerves. Get down. How did Tony Fauci know in the year 2017 that the incoming administration was gonna see a surprise visit from a virus? Hold up. Why was there a guy, speaking in heavy code here, named Carrie Melinda? Come on. Work with me here. Look it up. How is it that he was able to tell everybody right before Covisha happened that Covisha was about ready to happen? How is it that Johns Hopkins University came out play by play of precisely how Covisha was gonna happen? I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what we're talking about. There's something in the chips. What are you talking about? I'm just asking questions. Why is it that a dude named Curry, yeah, come on, use your discernment, you know who I'm talking about. How is it that a dude named Curry, Melinda, was telling everybody right before Covisha happened that you can't even use this video game system to test the actual video game? Come on, you guys know what I gotta go.
I love his work, bro. For real.
My granddad said he's seen centaurs before, 2 of them. Like centaurs, the half horse, half man creature. He said back in the day, he was in the woods with some of his friends and they were smoking reefer. And he said they heard something like running through the woods. And he said they sounded big. So he was like, what? Like they was like, what is that? And he said, when they seen them, he said the centaurs were golden. Both of them were golden. And he said the centaurs noticed that my granddad and his friends could see them, so they just stopped. And he said when they stopped, they like slid a little bit, like that's how hard they was running. And he said when they stopped and they just looked at him, he said him and his friends just bolted. They just dipped. And I was like, what? He was laughing the whole time when he said it. He was like, I know, it sounds crazy. I know, like, I don't know, Jamonte. He was just like, I don't know. I don't know. But we definitely saw them at the same time. Like, we all looking at it. And that was that. So, and now fast forward, I'm learning about the fallen angels and how they was creating abominations and how stuff like that was real. And they very well could be real? Like, so did they like see beyond the veil? Were they in like a spiritual hotspot? You know, because those exist. Like, what did they see? I don't know, dog. I don't know. I'm just sitting there like, like what? I just asked if you seen a ghost before. I ain't know you was gonna take that route. Damn.
The NBA gave points, and the reason that is so important is because in gematria, Knicks add up to 95 in gematria every single time. They do things by certain codes, by certain scripts every single time. And the Knicks fall to 4-2 all time, head to head in the NBA Finals. And the Spurs add up to 42 in gematria. Oh yeah. And the Spurs fall to 6-1 all time in game ones in the NBA Finals. And the New York Knicks add up to 61.
I was just glad OKC got their asses sent home.
Erykah Badu not slick. Yeah, we know that you was a part of the same rituals held by the Roots picnic this 2026. Yeah, because we know what a picnic is. Yup, that's when you barbecue indigenous peoples on their own land. That's when you, enact fear, and control over the people all over again. Yup, so we know they use you for control. We know they use you to harness dark feminine energy to control and confuse other docile energies. Okay, we know that you was a part of these same rituals held by the same acts put on by Questlove and the politicians. Okay, we understand what selling the souls look like. And we also understand that Philadelphia is an energy center. Yup, so we know why y'all was doing this under a full moon. We know what all this means, the divine people, I mean. We also know that this is the reason why it's America's birthplace, Philadelphia, that is. Okay, we not stupid, okay? And y'all also not slick. I'm just letting this be known to just let the frequency know that we know. Let's get rich.
Somebody submitted a spooky story saying that they divorced their husband after 7 years of marriage. And the reason wasn't another woman, it was what she found in their basement. I am back with another spooky story. And for the sake of this video, everything is for entertainment purposes only. So we're gonna call the person who submitted the story Laura. Laura says now she doesn't know that everything she experienced was real. Maybe there were explanations for some of it, maybe not. All she knows is that she divorced her husband after 7 years of marriage. And the reason wasn't another woman, finally. It was what she found in their basement. Bro. So when Laura met her ex-husband, we're gonna call him Marcus. I'm really not good at guy name. Marcus was charming, successful, and very private. When Laura would ask him about his friends, he would give very vague answers. If he had meetings, he would simply say it's lodge business. Now, Laura says she knew he was a Freemason. He didn't necessarily hide that part. He also had a ring with the square and compass symbol. He attended meetings a few times a month. Laura didn't think much of it at first. Now, strange things officially started to her knowledge after they got married. Sometimes he would leave the house after midnight and return just before sunrise. And when she would question him about his whereabouts, he would kiss her on the forehead and say, "You don't need to worry about that." And then he would get these suspicious phone calls. His phone would ring once and he would look at it and immediately leave the room. Every single time. One night she woke up, he wasn't in bed. She went looking for him and found him in the backyard. He was just standing there looking up at the moon. She called his name twice before he answered. When he turned around, his expression was completely blank. And that really freaked her out for some reason. Now she says she doesn't know much about Freemasonry or what they do in their meetings. So you know what? She convinces herself that maybe she's just being paranoid. Then Lauren's grandmother passes away. Well, at the grandmother's funeral, something really weird happened. An elderly man approached Laura, looked at Marcus, then back at her, and it looked like he had seen a ghost. And he asked Laura, "Are you married to him?" After she answered, the man didn't say anything, he just walked away. Again, strange, but not enough to make a conclusion. So a few months later, Marcus left for what he called an emergency lodge meeting, and he forgot his laptop. Now, Laura says she wasn't snooping at first. She was looking for recipes that they had saved, and then she found a hidden folder. Inside were hundreds of photographs. Most of them were normal, until they weren't. There were pictures of men standing in dark robes. There were pictures taken inside weird buildings only lit by candles. There were pictures of different symbols painted on floors, pictures of people wearing masks, and these were very creepy masks. The masks were animalistic, and then Laura saw one picture that made her blood run cold. This one creeped me out too. She said it was their wedding day, except she'd never seen this photo before. She was standing at the altar smiling. Behind her, hidden in the shadow, stood 12 men in black robes, watching. Laura says she closes the laptop, but that night she could not sleep. Later that same night, she started hearing noises coming from downstairs, and it sounded like footsteps. Now Marcus wasn't home. Again, he's on a business trip. Now Laura grabbed her flashlight, followed the sound, and it led her to the basement. And what she uncovered in the basement truly creeped me out. This story is literally so long, but I'm recording part 2 right now. So make sure you leave a comment for part 2.
Aw, my hometown quarterback Caleb Williams snagged the cover of John Madden Football. Interesting pose for the cover there. It's because he's the Iceman and he's chilly, right? Well, are you sure about that? Well, here's Caleb again with his arms crossed, and well, hey, who's that? Oh, it's Aleister Crowley, the most wicked man to ever live. And all these guys here, you think they're just crossing their arms because they're chilly as well? Especially that guy there, old mustache man. He must be cold. And what about this guy here, Ice Cube? He's got his arms crossed too, but he doesn't look too chilly, and those are some interesting hand signs. You still think that means West Side and not 33? And you know the funny thing about Ice Cube? Hey, Ice Cube? Ice Man? You know that's Caleb Williams' nickname, right? Ice Man? Well, I couldn't help but notice something. Yeah, Ice Cube and Iceman, they kind of look alike. It's in the lips and the eyes, and hey, that nose is pretty identical. But we'll get back to that one. Let's get back to the symbolism first. You might not know what that means, and you might actually think it's because he's saying I'm cold. But it means something much different. I want to show you something. And notice how it lines up oh so well with this right here. Do you know what that is? You know what that is? It's a Freemason logo. Yeah, well, how about now? Hey, there's that Freemason logo again, and there's a big old G in the middle of it. Kind of like that one there, that Ice Cube. Well, you want to see where Compton actually is? Well, the name Compton originates from Old English that translates to valley. And you know it can be considered a narrow valley? Well, a pit can sometimes be considered a narrow valley. Which reminds me of this Bible verse. When Satan is released from the bottomless pit. And well, if he was released from the bottomless pit, you would think his angels would be released as well. You know, his fallen angels that were all thrown down to earth. And how many were there again? Oh yeah, Satan took a third of the angels from heaven. What's a third? Do you know what a third is? Well, it's 0.33. 3 straight out of the narrow valley or pit. That's an interesting hand sign there too. It almost looks like the center of that Freemason symbol. You know, like this part. And that G, it doesn't, well, it does stand for God, but God actually stands for Gadriel, the deceiver in the Garden of Eden, the fallen angel who led Eve astray. I wouldn't be praying to Gad if I were you. Oh, and this guy, who is quite literally this guy because they're shapeshifters and they're here to get you to worship them as false idols. Well, he's not just a Freemason, because the Freemasons aren't what you think. Because the Freemasons, the sons of Ma, well, Ma actually means luminary or light bearer. So they were the sons of the light bearer, aka Lucifer. And you see how it says it drew a third of the stars because stars are angels? Well, it's an interesting hat you're wearing there, Caleb. Or should I say, O'Shea. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I don't really think Caleb Williams, whose nickname is Ice Man, is Ice Cube. No, that's just ridiculous. Oh, and I almost forgot. Up there, they both have the exact same scar in the nose of their bridge and on their nose. Must be one of those coincidences. Again, though, I'm a satire account. Entertainment only. Oh, and by the way, they're mocking you. It's time to take your power back and stop worshiping these false idols and wake the freak up. No, seriously, they're mocking you. All of them. And they're telling you right there. Have a lovely day.
Who with him? Who against him? Is that a reach or no?
The woman was walking from the beach into the water and she just disappeared. Did you see that? But there's this woman, she said that someone offered to take a picture of her and her partner, and she's recording this woman. I thought it was AI. I thought I was going crazy. This woman, she's standing like this with her arms out. She's got like the lady said it was 2 fish. She has 2 fish in her hand, and she's walking like she's like, remember when Ariel exited the ocean and she walked like she was a goddess? That's how this woman was walking. And then she just disappeared in the water. She just disappeared and vanished. The lady even recorded for a while after she went into the water. She never found her. Did y'all see that shit?
I just saw a video of a dude choking out a woman because she wouldn't kiss him. Who raised y'all? He leans in for a kiss and she pushes him back, right? She trying to let him down easy. She's still standing there. She's talking to him and he tries to go for the kiss again. She's backing away and patting him on the shoulder, still trying to let him down easy. When he realizes she's not trying to give him the kiss, he puts his hand around her neck and starts to choke her. But little did he know, she can fight like Respucia. Baby D, if you will. Debo.
Slow your roll.
They fall to the ground and she starts beating his ass. I mean, bad, embarrassing. And he's on camera. Not only are you on camera, women, but you on camera getting your ass beat. Embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
It's tragic. All that because she wouldn't kiss you. Now you on the floor tapping out because you thought you was entitled to tapping booty. Embarrassing. If at 8 o'clock she tells you you can give her raw, but then at 8:01 says, you know what? I'd rather just go for a walk. That's all you're entitled to.
Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
That's all you're entitled to. Imagine thinking you're entitled to something that don't belong to you. Belong to you? What if I went up in your pockets and took your money? You gonna call that my money, or you gonna call me a robber? If she not down to do the freaky things she was talking about before, that is her prerogative. What you need to do is go find somebody who wants to do that shit. They're out there. There's no need to choke people who don't want to do it.
Slow your roll.
Like, where did you think that was gonna get you? You gonna choke her and then she was gonna whisper sweet nothings in your ear? That don't make no sense.
That don't make no sense.
She's entitled to change her mind. It's like you wanted to have and then your head changed its mind. Now you got a and you're softer than jello. You gonna beat your after that? What sense does that make? What sense does that make? You're not gonna beat your after your changes his mind. You gonna leave it alone, right? Leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
If she's not trying to do the freaky shit she was talking about before, move on. There's plenty of fish in the sea, and your dumb ass decide to walk up on a shark trying to kiss it. Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
You're not about to beat your right? Because what sense would that make?
Every time he say something, I get weak, bro. He start laughing like he know that shit about to be funny. Hey, what's y'all thoughts, man? Well-deserved ass whooping. He played some stupid ass games, and he won what? Some stupid ass prizes, bro. Got his ass whooped on camera. I gotta find it. The clip before that, I would like to have found it too. Like, you couldn't have put that up as a stitch. Like, you couldn't have put that right after that. But on top of that, man, they're all fellas. Relax. 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 Because there's also the women out there who used to men, I guess, glazing over them, drooling over them, going crazy for them, to the point where it makes the woman toxic. Like, you see them on social media. I know I ain't the only one. You see them on social media, bro. Every post they make gotta be something to where it's low vibrational, digging at men. That's a woman who has problems, bro. She has issues. Leave her ass alone. You should be able to pick up on it immediately. As soon as you see the moodiness, as soon as you see the dumb shit, the ignorance, bro, run. Y'all know that them videos where you be like, run. And the music start playing, run, bro. Get the hell away and get away quick. There's men like this, though. Get yourself right, because you got mental issues. You need to heal yourself before you search. You know what I mean? Heal yourself before you search. That's man and woman. But fellas, I know y'all see the women who looking for a reason, who looking to say some bad shit about you, who looking to make they self feel secure, making they self feel great, and they so used to the same type of man, they not ready for a new one. You get what I mean? So there's that out there too. Don't get lost in the sauce. Again, I don't care how pretty she is. I don't care how good she look. I don't care how fat that. Y'all get where I'm getting at. Bro, don't get lost in the sauce. Run. There's a million other ones out there, and the right one for you, she out there, bro. But you got to be able to hear the conversation. You got to be able to learn the personality and get the hell on. Get on, bro. It ain't worth it.
Intentionally makes an agreement with a demon, makes a pact. And as the exorcists point out, demons aren't bound to any promises, but often they come through with what they promise. So there are some famous ones, which is in the book. John Lennon famously made a pact for 20 years of fame, and he got it. And 20 years to the day, he was shot and killed. And I haven't found all the details about this, but the man who, I was trying to find it before I finished the second edition of the book, but the man who shot him was apparently being driven basically to kill him. Like voices were talking to him to kill John Lennon, kill John Lennon.
I do remember that.
Mark
It's
David
very
Chapman,
public.
And then as I recall, he was exorcised of 5 demons.
Oh, wow.
The man who shot John Lennon. And they repeated the pact, like renewed the pact close to the 20-year time when it ran up. And yeah, I mentioned 3 books that are good biographies on that whole thing. But so that's one.
Wow, I've never heard that.
And also on, if you
5 demons? That's wild.
Have you ever heard the conspiracy theory that Sam Smith and Adele are actually the exact same person? Because the evidence people point to is insane. So if you didn't know, this conspiracy theory started back in 2015 when a lot of people began noticing some really strange similarities between Sam Smith and Adele, like this, when you overlay their faces. They're both British. They speak the same way, and most importantly, they sing in almost the exact same way. But here's the most intriguing part. They have literally never been seen in the same room together. Ever. You will never find a photo of them together. I dare you to try. The theory says that in an attempt to make even more money, the music industry came up with an idea that had never been done before. They put Sam in the studio to record a song, then pitched his voice up or down to make us believe there were 2 completely different artists. I'm going to play Adele slowed down and Sam sped up, and you'll hear it. Don't miss any of the mysteries surrounding these celebrities.
Everyone seems to think that I'm Adele. So people think that we're the same person, and I'm just in drag right now. And I get asked all the time in every interview about it, and it's really frustrating. But I am not Adele.
Yeah, I seen the comments on me and Lil Will. I still see it.
There's footage of some of these leaders in the Middle East. They'll get a bunch of these young boys that are like teenage.
Oh yeah, they'll dress them up like girls, make them dance and shit.
Like girls and make them dance for them. And it's because they don't allow women in their countries to do stuff like that.
So they get little boys to do it. I've seen the footage.
Mike. I'm sorry. I don't want to go down this road.
But
can we talk about the logic?
Can we make it make sense?
Can we talk about the logic?
How does that make sense?
So according to whatever you believe, women should not be dressed like that. Okay, that's what y'all believe.
Yeah.
But in exchange,
little boys can though.
In exchange, little boys can dress that way and do that. But then, in some of those same countries, they will kill you
if you're gay.
If you're gay and you're dressed like that.
It would be like the jock guy who's like, look at this.
Look at this chart.
On the low, that guy has like magazines under his bed that are like
Justin Bieber and shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? yeah.
When everything's all said and done at night, he's sitting like, look at this twink. What a fruit cup.
Yeah, he watches hella like K-pop guys and shit like that. And just like he's like in love with that shit because he likes how those dudes look. Bro, I seen the video where they're like
little boys
and they're all like dancing in front of just hella dudes in there.
Hella dudes, bro. It's a
sickening.
whole room full of them. I seen the video. That's what I'm saying.
I think we're talking about the same video. Yeah.
Yes, we definitely.
And like there's like little boys dressed up like in dresses
they, like,
and shit.
walking in a line.
Yeah, and they're like dancing in front of them. They're like shaking their ass or something. Shit. Yeah. It's insane.
Like what the.
What the f is that, bro? No, that's crazy as f. Like that's just okay for them to do over there.
It's just a normal thing.
وجود داره یه عمل که اطفال لباس دخترانه را تنش میکنن و در پیش روی اکثر مردم و مردان خاصن میرقصانن و این قابل نگرانی هست ولی چیزی است که اکثرا کسایی در این عمل دست دارن که یک مبجرات گفتم میتون که خود از اونا در اریکی قدرت هستن.
AI executives are saying, I'm not gonna have kids until the new Neuralink is built.
I want to wait to have kids until we figure out how Neuralink, so other ways for brains to interlink with a computer, until they start working. In your first, 7 years of life, your brain is more neuroplastic.
I want my kid to have the Neuralink because they said adults will have it, but kids will have it when they're born. They're gonna find ways to use it. You know how we're good with phones, but adults are not? Literally gonna be like that with Neuralink. Oh my God, that's sad. So billionaires are literally like, my kid can be born with it and use it his whole life.
Kids who are born with them are going to learn how to use them crazy ways. It'll be actually a part of their brain.
I think we're losing so much of what it means to be a real human. Yes. And then now we're pretty much changing what it means to be every damn day.
Every day.
Every day. We trying to take it to God heights. Like, bro, chill.
A shepherd in Pakistan looked down into his neighboring valley when he witnessed this. My first reaction is, what are they using for propulsion? You see it take off, but it leaves no dirt trail from any type of thrust. Then what is lifting this thing off the air, and who does it belong to? This is in the middle of nowhere in Pakistan. Is this US military? Is this Pakistani military? What is this? Is it extraterrestrial? Who has an answer for this? Some hidden Pakistani technology? Leave your thoughts in the comments.
I don't think it's extraterrestrial.
Oh,
did you see it?
Yes.
There's this video that was going viral from TV Azteca, which shows a man who he starts recording and saying, "Oh, the Virgin Mary statue is moving. It's moving. It's alive."
What?
And then out of nowhere, it captures this. The statue ends up blinking.
Oh,
did you see it?
Yes. It was toward the end. Right there.
Yeah, and then some of the comments are saying like, where? But then you got this one comment right here.
Yes. What the? Okay, that's weird.
That's clear as day right there.
Yo.
Do you see it as an evil omen, or do you see it as a miracle?
I'll kind of see it as a miracle, yeah.
I feel like it's scary to me. You know what I mean?
Why?
I don't know if it's like a warning, either a warning for something, like maybe some sort of natural disasters. Because I'm just putting myself in that position, and if I see anything inanimate, not human, not alive, move, regardless of what it is, I feel like it's just scary to me.
Like, I see what you're saying though. Like it is creepy. Like if anybody sees that, they're gonna freak out. Like, yo, am I hallucinating? Is this real?
Yeah. Because even like.
See, my first question ain't, I don't give a damn what it look like. It's not supposed to be moving. So what is powerful enough to get it to move? You know what I mean? To put itself inside the statue. And only time I notice shit like that is possessions and demonic shit. So if it's going into there, I'm not dealing with it. I'll probably leave in the church and I ain't coming back to that church, bro. I just being honest. What's y'all thoughts? I don't see that as no damn miracle. But I respect his opinion though, because I love his work. And he entitled to his own opinion. And he could be right. I could be wrong. But what's y'all thoughts, man? I ain't playing with it.
Moon Henry. If you guys have seen some of his videos in the past, wait until you see what he put out yesterday. So we know that there's been massive fires across a bajillion different places that have burned up all these ancient structures all around the world, right? And we're talking like Tartaria level stuff. We also know so much of Europe was during World War II, which removed so many of these ancient buildings. Well, it turns out, you know how there was so many insane asylums all around the world, which now there seemingly is very few. Well, apparently those insane asylums were for religious fanatics. And they were completely full, and these things were absolutely gigantic. And then we also know about orphan trains. You have pictures of New York City from, years and years ago, where there's not many people and there's a ton of children. So the going theory that is put out and that he shared is that they took a bunch of people who remembered what things were like before a great reset. And when they remembered and knew what was coming and knew what was happening, they put them in insane asylums. And then they repopulated with a fresh slate. And they had to burn down and get rid of the old to bring in the new generation. Now, there's a lot more to this than just this quick 90-second reel. And we're going to discuss more of it on my Rumble channel. If you want to tune in, comment the word Rumble below and check your DMs. And also, if you think we've been lied to about a whole lot throughout our lifetimes, including what's going on in the food, air, and water supply.
New York City subway tunnels were not built in 1904, but found. According to official history, the New York subway system was founded in 1904 and opened just 1 year later. But some researchers point out something strange. The wording itself, founded, not built. Almost like these tunnels already existed underground. Because think about it. Above ground, New York was still filled with horse wagons, dirt roads, and early industrial machinery. Yet somehow, underneath the city, they supposedly carved massive tunnel systems deep through solid rock. And here's where the theory gets even stranger. There are surprisingly few construction photos. No massive documentation. No endless images of excavation. Just a handful of photos showing workers standing inside finished tunnels. And some people ask, if humanity had truly built one of the greatest underground transportation systems ever created, wouldn't there be thousands of photographs documenting it, especially for something considered revolutionary at the time? Now combine that with theories about lost civilizations, buried cities, and hidden underground worlds, and some believe the subway tunnels were not constructed at all, but uncovered. The remains of something much older hidden beneath New York City itself. So the question is, did they really build the tunnels beneath New York, or did they simply rediscover them?
Say that Led Zeppelin sold their souls to Satan. Come on, guys, you know you did. While you're in hell, the human race will cherish your heavenly jams till the end of time. A small price to pay. We love you. Best band ever.
How many times are we going to see this same guy saying this same joke? I must have about 3 or 4 videos of him saying this on my channel alone. Now everyone's going to say, oh, it's just comedy. But they all seem to make this same joke for the most creative, entertaining people around. Maybe they should think of some new jokes. Very strange. What else can you expect from a godless industry full of demonic, evil, egotistical people who think they're above everyone else because of the money and the fame that they've attained? It's time to boycott these people. That ain't
It's crazy how they think that shit's so funny.
You've probably seen this quote of mine, but it's actually true. John Lennon sold his soul to the devil, and the devil said 20 years. He was shot 20 years to the week. But the selling of the soul was for fame. You got it. But then sometimes the people will sell their soul to the devil and they get nothing out of it but possession. So I had one guy that was possessed, and he sold his soul to the devil. He ended up becoming possessed by the noonday devil in Psalm 91, and yeah, it's a real guy. It's interesting, the noonday devil is the demon. This is what the fathers of the church say. So we're talking between 150 and about 600. They say that he's the demon of the midlife crisis. Interesting. Anyway, he's also the demon of achadia, or spiritual sloth. So anyway, this guy becomes possessed by this. At a certain point I ask him, well, how did you think you become possessed? Well, I made a pact with the devil. Well, what was the pact for? Fame and money. Did you get those? No. Well, that ought to learn you. All you got was possession in the process. Because again, they can't determine, demons cannot validly enter into a contract. The other part of it is, historically in the moral sphere, they always said that you can only enter into a contract with someone who's alive, that actually has a body and therefore can fulfill the terms of the contract. So you can't enter into contracts with someone who's dead, although they can seem to vote these days. But the point is that you can't enter in contract with a dead man, and also that means the demons, because they don't have a body, they can't fulfill the terms of the contract. So you can't enter a pact. So people say, well, how do you get out from underneath if you've gone into a pact with the devil? You just have to literally make a renunciation. Just renounce it. I renounce the pact I made with Satan for these things. And that's it. However, so the pact is now broken because it only has any force because the person voluntarily maintains themselves underneath the demon during the process. Once they reject it, then it no longer has any legal binding force. But the effects can persist, because once you've let the demon in your life, he can then start meddling and causing other problems, possess you, etc. Okay. So some.
Yeah, you reject that pack, bro. You got a pissed off demon.
What you think about Lil Nas X?
I feel like he needs Jesus.
What about Lil Uzi?
He needs Jesus too. They both definitely sold their soul. I wanted to say this about Lil Nas X. I got a few friends that went to school with him and they said he was never.
Are you serious?
So I know for a fact, like what he doing is because like they told him like you got to do this now if you want.
So you feel like he not
Ain't nobody really Jesus name, amen. It's getting popularity, getting you money, getting you views. So it's like selling yourself. Like you do this, you going with whoop.
So what do you think of the music in the entertainment industry?
Like it's just demonic. The industry, it's like you have to do certain things to get that. So I believe he had to do certain things to get where he's going. And like the certain things is you got to do this and lead people this way and lead people that way.
In Sedona, Arizona, a man claims to have captured a live portal opening up. We do know places like Skinwalker Ranch and Sedona for having vortexes, but never something caught on camera. Watch this video.
Never before seen footage of a portal opening up near Thunder Mountain in Sedona, Arizona. You can clearly see a buddy of mine, David, put an infrared security camera on his roof and captured this portal opening up above his house. You can see orbs coming out. This is never before seen footage that was shot in Sedona, Arizona.
So how would you explain this? If it's not a portal, then what is it? Will we ever learn the truth about Sedona and the powers that it holds?
They don't care no more. They outside, guys. They roaming the streets. They don't care if they're seen or not. Who's this? Who is this guy right here outside like that? Whoever he is, the people around him seem to be okay with it. Something's going on here, guys, and I'm not sure where this is at. Now, I'm not sure if this is a mask or something, but something's going on here, guys, and I can't give you the answers. It's over. I'm telling you guys, we're gonna start seeing more of this. Like I said, guys, I'm not sure if this is a mask or this is AI, but this looks real to me, bro, straight up. Who is he looking at like that? Who is he looking at like that? And what's up with his ears? Something is going on with this guy, bro, or whatever this is. I just blame my guys, entertainment purposes only. Probably somebody outside with a mask. Maybe they came from a Halloween show, even though it's not Halloween, but I don't know who the hell that is. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you know who that person is. For real. For real, B. I'm out.
Mask my ass, and why everybody else around him so calm about this shit?
Check out this footage I pulled out of the abyss. It's the reset of 1776, the old Tartarian Wars. No, it's not AI, it's insane.
There was a total wipeout, out with the old and in with the new, to proclaim the great New World Order. As you can see, it's taking place on this world today. This footage is from the Vatican, deep in the archives.
From the Vatican.
Even though I know for a fact this is not AI, I've done some deep checks with the AI checker.
This is not AI,
and as you can
though.
see, this is definitely legit footage. This is the Tartarian Wars, the old world wars, against the new world and the old world. I know what you're thinking, this looks like Star Wars or Star Trek. Well, guys, where do you think they got the inspiration from? You can't just make something out of nothing, remember? Everything came from the old world. And as you can see, there's Tartarian buildings and old world
Look at that
architecture
pyramid.
all through this footage. So it's quite obvious that this was in Tartarian times of 1776 for the Great Reset to abolish the old world. I know for some of you this is going to be like, no way this is real. But guys, everybody got reset, their minds went blank. Before 1776, this realm was totally different. And we had technology like this.
These are ancient relics, right? And as you can see, they're depicted holding what? Technology. The one right behind me looks to have a cell phone. And this person over on the side has like a tablet. There's nothing new under the sun. History repeats itself. We've just been put in this amnesia state because they didn't want us to awaken to recognize and realize who we truly are. We hold the power. All these things have existed. But now they want to spoon feed us little by little and bring out technology and all these things. So in this picture, we can see that they're holding some kind of interfacing technology. Looks like a cell phone, looks like they may be doing some FaceTime, that type of deal, right? All these things have existed. There's nothing new under the sun, like I mentioned before, right? They're just hoping that we just never would have awakened to the highest version of ourselves. And that's why they fill us with lead, cadmium, mercury, aluminum. So they have access to the satellites and the 5G and 6G, 7G towers to keep our brains and keep our pineals calcified and distorted, right? Fill us up with parasites. So these parasites take over and control us and keep us in this amnesia state. That's why they do vaccines from the time that we're born to keep us functioning at a state where we never awaken. All of these things have existed. And yes, there hasn't been a reset. Like I mentioned, who knows if that reset was in the 1700s or the 1500s or whatever. We know it was a reset that happened. But now, it's the change of the guards. It's the age of Aquarius. And we're awakening. We are now remembering. Many of us are remembering who we are.
And what I'm about to say ain't true. This is all for entertainment. The reason why the higher ups got to control everything and bring back all these things slowly back to us, because they know that if they gave us all of it, we would probably even push humanity even further. We will push humanity even further. Meaning they can't. They don't know how, bro. They just got to take the information and then they got to re-give it to us again slowly in breadcrumbs. Because if they gave it back to us, they go back to the what? They go back where? They go back to not having what? Nothing. They don't create shit. They found everything. They didn't create it. So if they gave it back to the original creators, they would go back to being what? Less thans, right? It makes a lot of sense to me. Like I said, this is for entertainment. What I said ain't true. Some Avatar type shit.
Mud fossils, but they're not bones. They're entire beings petrified in sediment. Organs, skin, muscle tissue, some with cellular structures still visible under microscope. Discovered in mountains, cliffsides, deserts, often dismissed by mainstream science. But look again. Massive limbs, toes, ribs, eyelids sealed shut in stone, caves shaped like skulls, hills with bone marrow core, mountains with vertebrae. These aren't natural formations, these are corpses, buried, hardened, encoded in rock. And they all point to one thing. Something enormous died suddenly and was flash entombed in mud. How does living tissue turn to stone? Answer.
You guys seen Dr. Stone, they all got petrified.
Rapid mineral replacement. Usually takes eons, but under the right conditions. High frequency, sudden pressure, saturated iron-rich sediment, and you get instant petrification. It's the same tech used to make artificial stone today. Except this happened on a global scale during the mud flood. Fossils aren't dead, they're dormant, and the system doesn't want you near them. Mythology speaks of titans, beings of immense scale who walked before the age of man. Because if we remember what we're standing on, we remember what they killed to make room for us. Flood wasn't just about Tartaria, it was about wiping the past completely. It was a mass extinction, not just of people, but of giants, gods, original beings, and organic tech. Everything too big, too ancient, too free, collapsed under the weight of a sound that shook the Earth's bones. Then they buried it, rewrote the map, taught us we evolved from monkeys and that the bones in the ground are prehistoric lizards. No, they were witnesses and they were silenced in stone. And when the resonance wave hit, the energy hit them too. It calcified their cells, turned blood to mineral, flesh to rock, that now we walk on their backs, build cities on their chests, mine stone from their skulls. The Earth's terrain is not just rock and dirt, it's biological ruin.
Shout out to Roger at Mud Fossil.
Some hills bleed iron when cracked like oxidized blood. Some stones release smells, decay, rot, ammonia when split. That's not geology, that's decomposition. But we're taught to call it natural, to pave over it, to never ask what mountain that used to be. But some of them, they're still here. You can feel them when you touch the rock, and they remember. After the mud flood, the world was empty, cities with no people, buildings with no owners, infrastructure intact, but lifeless. Then came the orphans, thousands of them, shipped across continents on trains, alone, silent, reassigned. But who were they? Where did they come from? No parents, no records, no past, just children seeded into the ruins. And here's the horror. These weren't just orphans, they were replacements. The new population, the post-reset blank slates, told nothing, taught obedience, given names, jobs, uniforms, programmed to forget.
At the peak of the Cold War, the CIA uncovered a source who claimed to have found an ancient Babylonian artifact capable of generating temporal portals with the ability to see through time. After recovering the crystalline artifact from the Baghdad Museum raid, Project Looking Glass shifted to Phase 2, construction of a temporal aperture device. The Nevada desert was chosen as the home for the device. Under the guise of nuclear weapons testing, we were able to construct the aperture in complete secrecy. 200,000 tons of structural steel were used along with 212,000 cubic yards of concrete. The crystalline artifact was stabilized with argon gas. Operators were specially trained psych operatives who were given a combination of psychedelic and emotion-suppressive drugs. This was a necessary component in order to activate and operate the device and focus on specific time periods, past or future. December 12, 1979, first test activation. 3 operators exposed to unfiltered timeline data disappeared upon activation. All clinical staff experienced temporal displacement, with some reporting crossing their own timelines. The project was immediately...
Who remembers when Chuck E. Cheese was affordable to families? And why do I say that? Because an individual celebrating his cousin's birthday at Chuck E. Cheese could not believe the price for pizza and wings, nor could he believe the size of a personal pizza. Have a look at this video for yourself. Check it out.
Hey y'all, so I'm at Chuck E. Cheese with my cousin, and I said, okay, you know what, I want some pizza, some wings. So this is a small personal pizza with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slices, right? Okay. This is a regular wing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wings and 2 pieces over, okay? How much do y'all think this will cost, right?
Listen.
Total, right? With this. You might think, oh, maybe $15.
That sounds fair.
This mess costs $34.
$34.
I had to pay for the pepperoni on this pizza.
And pepperoni extra as well. $34 for that little tiny pizza. And that didn't include the pepperoni. Just take a look at the size comparison from his thumb to the slice. And the chicken wings as well. That big. $34. And since the year 2019, Chuck E. Cheese prices have risen a whopping 60% on their pizza and 50% on other menu items. And just a footnote for those of you that don't know and are unaware, Chuck E. Cheese was purchased by a private equity firm. And another footnote, that personal pizza wing combo used to be around $15. The young man was correct. It is now $34. So I guess my question to you is, when was the last time you visited a Chuck E. Cheese? And were you aware of the fact that their prices have nearly doubled since the year 2019? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
He's very, very active physically and has always had a very sharp mind, retired Major General from the PhD from MIT.
Oh, wow.
And he's been feeling brain fog. Please have a seat. His name is William Neal McCaslin. Today he had taken a drug that the doctor prescribed last night that was supposed to help with sleep. With weight gain, he's lost about 20 pounds for no reason. And with anxiety. And today he woke up and said, well, I got better sleep, but it's like after effects of a bad hangover. I'm just foggy. I can't get any motivation to do anything. And like I said, he was very clingy. He wanted me right beside him.
He was the head of Air Force Research Lab. To the point, the man's names are in the UFO documents that are fixed to be released. He's in that in-depth, so he has a very high security clearance.
The first call a detective made wasn't to search the mountains. It was to a woman who had dinner with McCaslin the night before.
Yeah, so I called in trying to get hold of everyone. I'm actually walking into his favorite coffee shop right now to see if they've seen him. So I work with Mr. McCaslin on the Kirtland Partnership. He's a board member. He's a retired general with Air Force Research Lab.
Okay.
And we had dinner Thursday evening at Cervantes off of Gibson
Okay.
at 6 o'clock with Space Force. And what I noticed, I was shocked this morning when I saw the alert, because what I noticed Thursday evening is he wasn't his usual self. He was kind of spacey and quiet. And you know, that happens with people, so I didn't put anything with it.
Right.
He left in his vehicle, and then this morning I called security forces out at Kirtland just to ensure he hasn't used his card out there, and he hasn't access based, and they're going to keep monitoring that area. But from what I understand, well, let me tell you this first. So Thursday evening he was wearing a blue and white striped collared shirt, button down.
Okay.
And he was wearing a little name tag, his KPC name tag. And so from what I understand is he left the house, his wife didn't take anything, was on the running trail, and it was last seen at 11 o'clock yesterday.
Right. Does he carry like a security clearance or anything like that?
He has a very classified security clearance.
I'm willing to bet this shit got something to do with time travel. All of it.
True that Aleister Crowley knew what he was doing. After all, he did summon an entity, and he was not alone. He had help from a medium by the name of Rhodey Minor. We actually don't even know what she looks like. This is just the closest image I can find that's the most reliable, because there are a lot of other images that show up that say it's her, and then when you Google search them with AI or whatever, turns out it's not her. So this faceless woman assisted Aleister Crowley when summoning Lamb, you know, the depiction of the thing that we know now today as the gray alien. But yeah, looking at Alamantra working, because that was the ritual that Aleister Crowley used to summon Lamb. You can find stories about these gray aliens that go back thousands of years. One of the stories is known as the Apocalypse of John, also known as the Book of Revelation. We have had about 70 years of pop culture referencing gray aliens to get us accustomed to the idea of them as they get closer to us. But Apostle John did not have anything to compare what he saw in his visions to. He couldn't say Paul. He couldn't say Roger from American Dad. He couldn't compare him to anything. So what did he say? Evil spirits that look like frogs. Yeah. I would say Aleister Crowley knew exactly what he was doing.
Okay, my question is, who believes the government created the gray aliens, and who thinks that the gray aliens were around before that? Because we hear that they come with the mantis or the ant people. I think it's the ant people. Correct me if I'm wrong. The ant people been here for all these years, and the mantis always shows up with the grays. What the hell make us think that the government was smart enough to create? They can't create buildings like Tartaria did or the old world before the reset, but they could create it. Extra. We giving them too much damn credit. We give them credit and we take it. We take credit and we give them credit. It doesn't make sense. We contradict ourselves. So that's why I'm asking. Let me know your thoughts. This is all entertainment. What I'm saying ain't true.
For me, is almost like a metaphor to AI and how dangerous AI can get. Because the backrooms is AI. The way it uses the real world to copy it and to make generate.
I get what you're
things.
saying, and a lot of times it's not going to be exactly. It's going to be a little off.
It's a little bit off. And
It's
the same thing like with AI. And then they have that scene where Mary's thinking about her child at home, and it goes through the levels like boom, boom, and each level it gets more up.
Yeah.
It gets more
Backroomy-ish, yeah.
So it's the same thing with AI. If I put a picture of you in AI and I tell it to recreate it over and over again,
it's going to keep getting more AI.
Weird. And I think that's what he's trying to say. I might be wrong, but I think that's what Keynes is trying to say, that using AI too much can get dangerous. And even with the YouTube series, the more that async with the backrooms, the more null zones started opening up in the real world.
Yeah,
and
like Clark's store.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing. Whereas the more that the backrooms gets of the real world, the more dangerous it becomes.
Yeah.
And the more accurate it can be, and which makes it more scary that that Clark that we think might not even be the real Clark might have been created by the backrooms. The same thing is when you see a picture of AI and you're like, is that real? Is that
I know what you mean. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? We're using it so much that it's learning and it's adapting so well that it's almost getting dangerous.
Yeah, bro. You know it's so weird because that hits like a
What if they replaced the old world bells with cell phone towers? It sounds ridiculous at first, but the deeper you look into the history of bells, the stranger it gets. For thousands of years, massive bells stood at the center of cities, towns, and villages across the world. Officially, they were used to tell time, warn of danger, or call communities together. But some researchers believe they served a much greater purpose. Historical records describe bells being rung during storms. Some believed they could disperse dangerous weather. Others claimed their vibrations could harmonize the surrounding land, almost as if these giant bells were interacting with the environment itself. And when you look at old photographs, many of these bells were enormous, covered in strange symbols, forgotten inscriptions, and languages that few people can even identify today. Then something happened. During and after World War II, countless historic bells disappeared. Many were melted down, destroyed, or quietly removed. And in the decades that followed, a new kind of tower began appearing everywhere. Cell towers, structures that also transmit frequencies across vast distances. Now, some theorists believe that was no coincidence. They claim the bells were part of an older system based on resonance, vibration, and frequency, a technology humanity no longer understands. And when that system vanished, it was replaced by an entirely different network, one designed not to resonate with the land, but
Glorilla?
Yes.
Bro, her real name is Gloria Hallelujah.
Oh, I heard about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, like she was called.
That's crazy.
Even Lil Uzi Vert, I think he was raised in the church.
Crazy how many of like the musicians and the actors like grew up in church, or even actually like spirit-filled church too. Katy Perry spoke in tongues.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Megan Fox. You know what she said in an interview? They asked like, what is one of her secret talents people don't know about? She said, I speak in tongues. All these musicians or actors that they have like mantles on them, I totally believe that they were all called to be mighty men and women of God. They have anointing, but it is polluted, it is perverted. It is actually the anointing that is on their life that is allowing them to do what they do, that has the influence.
The gifts and the callings are the
right, without repentance.
So like it's like the devil just flips it.
Yeah.
But y'all know we made it to the end of this, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos, very smooth 7. This is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Glad to grow, helps Glad to get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you for watching ETV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Don't forget to hype up the video. Till I see y'all in the next one. Y'all know what it is. We gone.
I just check my account. Sheesh.